In this video, I'm going to go over the Union tool within the Join tab. The main benefit of this tool is it allows you to combine multiple streams of data into one. So for example, if you're taking data from multiple inputs, you can join them together, and it will allow you to combine all of your data into one data set. So what I'll do is I'll drag this to the canvas, and I have two data sets that have a stream number, an ID, and a first and last name. You'll notice that they are in different orders. We have a couple of options with this tool. Up here we have set to auto configure by name. We also have auto configure by position and manually configure fields. We'll start with auto configure by name. When we run this, we will see that we don't have any errors or warnings, and we do see that we are able to have all of our stream numbers, IDs, and first and last names line up perfectly. So this is going to recognize by field name which ones are the same, and let's line them up as such. Now, if you would have done auto configure by position and hit run, you'll notice now they are not in the correct order because it's simply taking the positions of these columns and the positions of these columns and squishing them together vertically. So you'll notice here the ID is in the last column, which is why they're shown here, and the IDs on this first stream is in the second column. So while it's not useful in this situation, it could be useful in a situation where you know your data lines up exactly from one stream to another, and it's easier to configure by position, and you don't need to worry about field names. The third one is manually configure fields. Here, you'll be able to see all of the fields in question, and you'll see that it identifies which columns it thinks should go with which. And if we hit run, you will see it lines them up perfectly again. You do have the ability to click a field and move it left and right, and you can even reset the by position or by name. Now, let's say you actually have fields that are named first and last. This is where running it by name might not be the best, because when you hit run, you'll notice we do have some warnings saying that these fields are not present in both streams, so it splits them up. This is where we can use the manually configure fields. We'll notice that since the header names did not line up exactly, they've shifted them. However, we can highlight these, push them over to make the first names and the last names line up. And when we hit run, we will see we are back to having a perfectly fine data set. Now, if we go back to auto configure by name, which is the most common way that I use this one, we can see there are these two properties. When the fields differ, we can either send a warning and continue the processing records, which is something I always use. However, if you want to, you can have the workflow error and completely stop, or you can simply ignore it and then you don't see any of those warnings. You can also output all of the fields or just a common subset of fields. And finally, when it comes to output order, let's say you want some data to land on top, some data to land on bottom. You do have the ability to set a specific output order, and you can toggle these up and down to your desire. In this video, we went over all the configurations of the Union tool. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.